not going to do any silly opening today. No? Guess who's back again. Life's a pitch. Tell a friend.
No, of course we're not. Why would we?
Yeah, nah, let's just be serious this time. In case you missed that, we are back. Listen up with the freshest new airway beats through your airwaves. Air beats. Copyright. Trademark and copyrighted at the same time. Yeah, we're back. Episode 6. Damn, son. I actually know someone called Damn, son.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. Episode 6. Good reading week?
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, didn't do much reading, but I did other stuff, which was cool, I guess. How was yours?
Yeah, it was alright, yeah. Did reading. If anyone listening,
different.
Any academic tutors listening, we did the reading. We did catch up with the work. Yeah, really excited to be back. Really happy to be back in Bournemouth. Excited to see everyone after a week away. Congratulations to everyone all of our friends who graduated the past week.
Ooh,
yeah.
Graduate, celebrate. My singing's not good, man.
Nah, you can't sing. You can sing, I can't.
No, I can't sing.
You can.
You can sing better than me.
I've seen the YouTube videos.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We've seen the YouTube videos. You've got some skills.
Anyway.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone. It felt really weird to know that
some of our friends have graduated.
Yeah, and last Tuesday,
yeah,
it was exactly a year away from our graduation day. Touch wood, if we get there.
Fair enough.
But it felt sort of really weird and really nostalgic about it. But yeah, congratulations, guys. Welcome to adulthood. If you got any tips for final year, please do let us know. And we're sorry we couldn't be there to see you all. But without further ado, let's talk about the guest.
Asmah, who is great and wonderful, and who I worked with last year, so I'm going to say nice things about her.
All the superlatives in the dictionary.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
She was good. She
fantastically dressed.
Yeah.
Easily the
shoes.
Best dressed
The
person.
shoes.
Not because she's probably just listening, and we loved her. Easily the best dressed person we've had on.
Definitely. Amazing
shoes. We forgot to take a picture.
We didn't take a picture.
She had amazing. You'll hear it in the podcast, but she had the best shoes. And without further ado, we'll let you guys listen to... How long is it?
So 40 odd minutes.
We'll let you listen to 40 odd majestic minutes of...
Majestic minutes.
Majestic.
Is that a new thing? Majestic
minutes.
Majestic minutes.
Oh my god, yes. Majestic minutes.
Majestic minutes and super seconds.
Yes, incredible. Here comes that wicked jingle. We are back. It's been a week. I bet you've missed us. You've missed us, haven't you? Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, you have. Yeah, we're back after a nice week off.
Good week off.
Yeah, did loads of reading. Got really, really ill.
Did some reading.
Shh. We did loads of reading. Yeah, we're back. Really excited to be back. Really nice day today.
Weirdly enough.
I feel like we have to mention that every time we record an episode here. We're still in the student centre, and today we're lucky to be joined by a photographer and student here at BU, who I will let her introduce herself. So, Asmah, please tell us about yourself.
So,
tell the listeners, what's your story?
Okay, so my name is Asmah Mansur Williams. I'm in my final year at Bournemouth University, studying business studies. And quite widely, I kind of describe myself, apart from education and just the generic stuff, I kind of describe myself as sort of a multi-disciplinarian, like a multi-creative disciplinarian, because I do sort of photography and art and very much interested in like fashion direction as well. So in terms of my story, so like kind of particularly to the creative side, isn't it? I think that the kind of more obvious thing for me in terms of my creative growth and like my creative mindset is that for a long period of time, so all through my growing up and high school and all of that, I never ever thought I was creative in the slightest bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was though I did art in school, but it wasn't particularly anything sort of creative. It was just sort of art subject, and I never ever thought I was creative at all until I came to the UK for. So I'm Nigerian, by the way, and then I came to the UK for college, and then. So my first point of creative wise, was sort of photography, and it was through my phone. It wasn't anything like planned, or I didn't think about like going into photography. But then I used my phone, take pictures, and I started editing them, and I just I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the graphic side, so I think that really helped my photography because I'd take pictures and I edit them, and just keep them to myself. And then one time, one of my friends saw the photos and she was like, "Oh my god, this is really, really good." And at that time, because I think that was kind of when Instagram kind of came up, and then I had as much as I did, it was Instagram, there was Tumblr, and I was a huge fan of Tumblr, but I didn't really feel confident of putting my work out there. So I just always like ordered them on my phone, and then my friend said, and she was like, "This is really, really good, and then I want you to sort of create like so I want you to take my pictures from my birthday and create like a graphic happy birthday design on the pictures." And I was like, really? So I did that, and then someone else saw it, because she had it on a BBMD, because it was BBM at that time. And then someone else saw it and was like, "Oh, I really like this, I want you to do this for me." And then that was kind of how I gained my confidence, and it grew. And then Instagram, then I found Instagram, and I started putting my pictures on Instagram, and a lot of people liked it. But then it still wasn't for me, because I kind of, at that time, my mindset was you need to go to an art school to be an artist and to be creative and all of that. So I just thought what I was doing, because I was doing it on a mobile phone, I just thought it was just nothing. So then I stopped for a while, actually. I kind of stopped doing all the graphic design and all the photography, because then I kind of realised that I love sort of fashion creation a lot more than those two. So I kind of focused on starting a lot of DIYs in college for myself. I didn't really do anything sort of for other people professionally, but I did a lot of fashion DIYs in college, and that kind of grew, and then I stopped that as well, just because I just always kind of had that breaking point. I just felt like this is not good enough. And so until I came to uni at Bournemouth, I kind of picked up again on photography. So that's when I got my first DSLR, I got my first camera. And then obviously Bournemouth is beautiful, so I just went taking pictures and taking lots of pictures. And I put them online. I'd get some good reviews, and then I just thought, well, everyone gets its reviews anyway, it doesn't really matter that much.
When you got your first DSLR, did you think, "Oh, now I've made it, now I can call myself a proper photographer"?
I did.
Yeah.
I literally got mine like 4 days ago.
That was it. Like that's the validation. Like, I've got a big DSLR now. I am basically a photographer.
Yeah.
I can put it in my Instagram bio.
It's sick,
That's
man.
it.
They're so fancy. I don't know how to use mine properly, but they're like really fancy. Loads of settings.
Yeah, there's a lot of settings, and I've had my camera for 4 years, and I've still not been able to exhaust all of the settings. I just put on mine when I know, like, shutter speed and aperture, but that's about it.
Yeah, still.
But then, when I was excited, because that was huge for me. I mean, I was like, oh my god, then it looked like a huge machine. Like, it just looked like I got a computer and I had to just kind of set it up from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I was excited, but I didn't really think I felt like I was made, or I felt like, I'd reached that point that, oh my god. I was just excited, and I was just trying out a lot. Like, I take pictures of literally anything and everything. Yeah. I think it's just, when everyone gets the first camera, they just take pictures of the walls, the ceiling, everything. Like,
we just shared that look.
Like the bricks outside our house.
If you go through our DSLRs, you will see, like, for me, like, pictures of the bricks outside, which look really nice. Like, my ceiling, my wall, the light fittings, which somehow look really cool.
Pictures of me asking you not to take a picture of me.
There's that. No.
I think the funny thing with
to beat that.
Sort of cameras and DSLR is when you first get it, you're like, oh, you want to take pictures of everything, but then your style changes. For me, like, I was into more detailed, more focused sort of photos at the beginning, but then my style changed up to a point that now I want to take pictures of my DSLR that looks like I've taken it on a phone. So it's not necessarily DSLR quality. So I tend to grain my pictures a lot, and I tend to sort of blur it out a lot and fade it a lot on, like, editing apps and things. So it looks more like it's more holistic, rather than, I set up my tripod and I took this picture and I was standing there for ages. So I think that kind of changes.
So it's more. You touched on that. It's more real then. It's more.
I wouldn't necessarily say real. I think it depends on your creative mindset and, like, what you want to put out. But for me, I just kind of like the slow pace. Because I think the thing is, film cameras are coming up a lot more now, and I don't really have a film camera. So for me, it's how can I take pictures on my normal digital camera that I can translate kind of a film, kind of like a moody sort of vibe that I
Yeah.
want. So it's quite weird, but yeah. What happened? And it was just sort of trial and error, fighting with myself a lot in terms of gaining my confidence and in terms of just realizing that I can actually do this and I can actually make something out of it. But I kept sort of creating and stopping and doubting myself, and worried I was talking to someone. I had like 6 different Instagram accounts because I keep closing them because I keep thinking, like, the funny thing is it grows to a point and I love it and people tend to commend my work, but at the same time it's just a self-doubt. I think that's kind of been my biggest failure since I started, like, creative wise. Because if I'd consistently grown from when I started, I would be at that point. I would be so proud of myself. Not like proud of myself, but I'd be so happy with my growth. But I think a lot of us just kind of up down.
Yeah, I guess it's like that with any sort of creative process, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we all go. I certainly do. I go through those periods of time when, you know, when you're making something, when you're creating something, you feel amazing. You feel like, oh yeah, this is it. This is great. And then you go through periods. Like, you go through periods of my mind where it's just like, can you do this? Is this really good enough? Be honest with yourself. Is this like at the level? So I think I read in a book over the summer that your mind is your biggest sort of competitor, and just overcoming your mind is the biggest challenge. But you touched a little bit there on your style and the way you try and take pictures. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what would you say? How would you describe your style, and what would you say shaped it?
So when I started, it was just point and shoot, basically. I just wanted to take pictures, but then gradually, when I started incorporating my graphic designs into my pictures, I started creating collages and things. I started taking pictures, so I'd frame it in a way that I can sort of add more to a photo. So I'd almost take it as if it was very incomplete. So then I could add. So I just kind of take it as minimal as possible. So when I want to add something into it, it can build up. So right now, like, I'm looking at my subject and I'm thinking, just like, I almost not take it as a full complete image. I'll take it and almost leave something out that I can, except if it's like specifically like someone has asked me to take something specifically, then obviously I'll tailor it to their needs. But in terms of my personal one, it's almost sort of as minimal as possible, because I love building my graphic design into my photography. And so for like things like my collage and stuff, I always use my own photos because I feel like there's a lot more that I can build up on my own photos, and that comes from the mindset of taking the initial pictures as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like my style, I'd say. Yeah.
That's cool. Do you have any favorite photographers?
I think my inspiration just kind of spans across. Obviously, it's very digital and very like social media, and I'm a huge fan of social media. I think Instagram and Tumblr are great. So I don't really sort of pinpoint it to one particular person, or because my style changes a lot, and so you can easily sort of build up from one person to another. So in terms of like where I get my inspiration from photography wise, maybe not necessarily one person. It just really kind of build up. But I kind of like the modern day photographers, like there's Ailey, she shoots for ID magazine. I really like her style. There's a favourite of mine, Nadine. She's amazing. I really love her style as well. Once I kind of deleted on top of my head, any day like I want to shoot, I'll always go back to this kind of photographers. But in terms of like design, so like graphic design and sort of my collages and things like that, I'm very, very much influenced by the Dadaism, say the kind of earlier 20th century movement that came up, and so my collages are very, very much focused on that. But it's just very much a minimal form of Dadaism, because Dadaism is very like complex, a kind of collage, but mine is just a very minimal form of that. And I love people like Matisse. I love Matisse's line drawing, Paul Klee. And I'm also very much inspired by African artists, because you have an African upbringing. I tend to think of my work as being a bit Afrocentric, and so people like, can't put on top of my head, but people like Chris Ofili is Nigerian as well. And a couple of other like African artists I just tend to just look at, not necessarily sort of direct inspiration, but I think it's just great sometimes kind of refresh my palette and just look at those kind of people and see like where this kind of built up from and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on social media and how you really love it, and you've talked about Instagram and how that sort of, you got sort of some of the inspiration from people on there. Do you think, in terms of creative people or creativity in general, do you think social media helps us? Because there's so much crap put out on social media, and then there's also a lot of creative stuff that's actually put out on social media, but then the crap tends to outweigh the creative stuff. Do you think people struggle sometimes to get their creativity to the people they actually want to get to because there's so much stuff in the way?
I think one very good tip that I've learned, especially through Instagram, is to filter out your explore page. So firstly, I don't follow almost anybody. I'd make sure if I'm following you, your content are things that, because my biggest problem with social media is a lot of people don't realize that what you see constantly and what you read, like on Twitter and on Facebook, and what you see on Instagram and Tumblr and visual app, it's more like it's unconsciously builds up in your head, and when you're pouring it out, when you're creating, you don't really consciously think, oh, I'm copying somebody, or I'm recreating what someone has made, but unconsciously flows out.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very particular about the things that I see. I say it's very, very important for me that my own page is very well tailored. And one tip is that your explore page, you can easily sort of, so any pictures you don't like, you can easily click on, there's a icon button that you can click on not to see pictures like that anymore.
Really?
So I've done that. So my explore page is so very well tailored that everything that I see are contents that I love. But in terms of like creative, I think I have a very love-hate with social media generally, because one is great for sort of creative learning and putting yourself out there, but it's also a very great tool for self-doubt, and I don't know, there's a lot of competition that isn't very obvious, but it's there, and at a particular point in time, I think a lot of people just want like a very fast and instant growth on social media, and they think, oh, when I post like 5 pictures, I should hit 1,000 followers and I should get recognized by all the brands. And when you don't really get to that point, it's oh my god, everything I'm doing is rubbish because no one has recognized it, and no one. And actually, someone told me this recently, that you should, if you feel like you're doubting yourself, or you think your work isn't good enough, you should look at the quality of people that are loving your work. So it could be like 5 people, but look at what they're actually doing. Because a lot of people think this mass like and mass following is great, but it's not, because people are following and liking, but look at what they're posting as well, and that makes you realize the quality of people that are loving your work, if that makes any sense.
And going back, well, let's bring it back for a second. We're sitting here at the student centre at lovely Bournemouth University. And
No, I'm not going to say it.
What?
Not going to say it this time.
What?
Not going to do it.
Okay.
Oh, we have to, don't we? Bournemouth, if you're listening,
Yeah.
and you want to sponsor us.
The whole of Bournemouth, the council.
Yeah, if anyone in Bournemouth, if you want to sponsor us, just get in touch.
I know you do business as a degree. Is there a reason why you chose business and why you chose Bournemouth in particular and BU?
You can't just say the beach.
No, definitely not. Because I think funny thing is, I obviously being an international student, I didn't really know a lot about the UK and places in the UK and schools and all of that. So my careers advisor at college said you should go down to Bournemouth. I think it's great. I think it's sort of refreshing and it's growing, and so it's great to kind of tap into that. So that was just how it is, really. When I came in here, I've never been to Bournemouth before, and it's just a kind of first impression thing that happened. And in terms of business, it was just a thing of, I was very confused after college. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew definitely that it wasn't anything sort of creative like art, because my parents wouldn't let me. Because African parents are very much like, you need to do engineering or law.
Yeah, we have the same thing.
Something academic. Yeah. So it was kind of the best option for me, was just to do business. I think everyone needs that business mindset, and I just felt like if I did it, even if I were to go into anything else, I'll be able to use that mindset anyway in sort of any field that I go into. So it was just kind of the safest option for me. at the time.
It's interesting you mentioned that as an international student because I've got a dirty look there again. So you're also an international student. I don't think I've ever asked you. Well, I don't think we've ever spoken about this. But have we spoken about this? Did we speak about this in the past?
No, we haven't.
Why did you choose BU? What was of all the universities in the UK? Why did you come down to?
Well, as you know, and you sometimes make fun of me for, I've done IB.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
IB.
he's one of those kids.
Yeah.
The clever ones.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did IB in India
All right. No need to show off.
for.
Sorry.
Shush.
Yeah. Sorry. I won't interrupt you now. Go.
Yeah, so I did IB in India, and just as we were like coming to the end of our degree, yes, we do call it a degree even in high school, because we're fancy.
You even call it a high school? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm Indian. I'm not from.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming to the end of our degree, we had to sort of start applying to different colleges, and then I always sort of knew that I wanted to go to England because I don't really fancy America too much. Especially after what's happened recently, I don't really fancy it at all.
Let's not go there.
Trump, you're great, but
No.
you're orange and I don't like it.
Trump, if you're listening, actually, no, I can't say that.
Trump Towers,
Yeah.
don't sponsor us.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, so I always wanted to come to England, and so I applied to like different places. Unlike Asmah, when I came out of high school, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a painter. I want to be a visual artist. So I applied to like places for that, and I applied to like British Columbia in Canada and like UAL in London, and I got in. But then I was like, don't really fancy painting for 4 years because that's seemed quite boring to me. And I wanted to do something. I was really interested in economics and consumer behavior and stuff like that, and I thought advertising sounds like a good shout. And then on doing, your little bit of Googling, you found out that Bournemouth were actually quite good. So picked Bournemouth, came down to Bournemouth. Yeah. Didn't really know anything about advertising, especially in England. And yeah, it's been one hell of a ride, man. We're doing this. Who would have thought?
I realised halfway through that answer that we've already spoken about this.
Have I?
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Episode 1.
Have we?
Episode 1.
Oh yeah, we have.
First ever episode we did.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean, go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Listen to episode 1,
yeah.
and then come back and listen to this and tell us if I said the same thing.
You did.
Because we're not really sure. But yeah, that's why I came down.
Very interesting. Cool.
Why'd you come down?
I'm not going to go with this. I'm not going to repeat this again. Right, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
There.
Let's get back to our
focus.
guest.
Focus. Back on the guest. So
we obviously, the whole reason we do this podcast is to talk to creative people and talk to them about I'll just ask you, what is creativity to you?
Big question.
Wow.
Big question.
So, funny enough, actually, I've never really, I don't know how to put this. So up until like very, very recently, and I think kind of when I had my Visco collaboration, which was massive for me, I've never really considered myself to be a creative person. I just thought that I was. So if I use the word creating something, then it means great. But I just kind of thought that I was just creating things that I loved. I never really sort of put a name to it. I didn't think, because I was talking to someone, I never really called myself a photographer. I do photography, but I don't really see myself as a photographer or as an artist. I just do art and I do photography. So I've never really sort of labelled myself as a creative person or this or that. Based off of that, I think kind of realising like, okay, maybe there's a sort of creative part to myself, and every time I kind of get into that mindset, for me, it's just sort of building for my subconscious. So I think it's a lot of tapping into my subconscious and creating and building things that I didn't even know existed, and putting something out there that I want people to get. Like, every time I put something, I think about what feelings can people get from this. It's not just about looking at it and thinking, oh, this is great, but I want you to tap into your subconscious as I have and create feelings based on what you sing. So based on that visual appeal, it's to kind of build back in. So for me, I think creativity is impacting on someone else's feeling, so that it could be any sense of feeling. It could be anger, it could be disappointment, it could be sadness, it could be happiness. But I just want everything that I do to be sort of, to bring a sort of calm feeling and this very subtle and almost sort of genial feeling that people, when they say it just resonates and it's very calm, and it's so that's kind of what I think creativity is for now.
That's interesting. I never thought of it as a way of evoking an emotion. Well, I guess that's what you're taught. It's advertising these days has to evoke an emotion, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
I used to get a reaction out of someone to be remembered.
I think because I think a lot of times no one really thinks that, I'm gonna, because it's weird that when you talk to kids, no one really says I'm gonna be an artist.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times is, this is nice. Maybe I do have this in me. So it's by accident. You stumble upon that part of yourself as you stumble upon every other part of yourself. So most times, I think.
I don't know. I feel because when people talk about creativity, it's so wide and so different for every single person. And some people consider painting to be creative. Some people consider doing coding on a computer to be creative, and most people wouldn't. But it's really weird. That's why it's really interesting, I think, to get different people's perspective on it.
It's quite a subjective term, isn't it? It's quite a subjective terminology, so it's good to get loads of different viewpoints of people. I'm sure if you ask like George or Richard or David what creativity was to them,
and they'd give you a real advertising perspective.
It'd be different to what Asmah would say, or what Rocky would say, or what Louis would say, any of our previous guests.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to any of those episodes, go back and listen to them now. We'll wait. And no, we can't do that.
And you also talked about your interest in fashion, right? And I know you love fashion. What is it about? Because I've been I worked with you last year, and I've been in the office when you've been looking at dresses, and I go, what are you doing? Why? So why fashion? What is it about fashion?
You totally just glassed her up there. So,
my boss is probably like, oh my god, this is what you were doing last year.
If any of your bosses are listening, like...
It's fine.
But then the funny thing is, I was with my boss last week, and she said, I was school and everything, and she said, you definitely have to go into fashion, you know that.
Yeah.
So she kind of accepts this as well. I think fashion for me is probably, even though it doesn't look like it, it's probably the most important creative aspect of my life, because it's the only one thing that I constantly put out every single day. It's a way of life almost. It's something that for me is a form of expression, and it's a form of direct and obvious expression, that I want to sort of express myself with. And I've always, funny enough, I think I've always loved fashion, but I didn't think up to a point that I did, because growing up in Africa as well, your parents wouldn't really look at you as a fashion creative or fashion designer, or they just want you to study all the basic social sciences and things like that. But then the influences, because obviously my parents, and I actually didn't know this up until recently, my parents were huge influence on me with the way they dressed and everything. I've always had that mindset. But when I came into the UK and I started dressing in a certain way and by myself, and sort of I was able to express myself, I found that sort of passion and that niche about myself that I didn't know in terms of fashion. And it's built up massively. And for me now, it's not just fashion as a passion, it's fashion as a form of expression.
You're spitting
it's fashion
bars.
as
Fashion as a passion.
Fire in the room.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's very much of an expression for me. It's very much as the science of fashion. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I love fashion, and they think it's just about clothes, but it's about the psychology of what clothes do to you. It's about, because I do marketing, so being said I do marketing, and so for me, a lot of time I look at fashion designs or like fashion streetwears and things like that. I always like, everything I think about the fabric, I think about the stitching, I think about how it comes together, I think about, the creative process behind it. And so for me, it's about the science of fashion rather than rather than fashion itself that everyone sort of taps into, which I absolutely love, absolutely without a doubt. I think that's one thing I'm so sure of that I would love to definitely go into.
So and just to say to you, in case you don't know how fashionable she is, look at her shoes.
Ooh, metallic shoes.
Wow.
And it's quite funny because
it takes something to pull that
No,
off.
but this is my
Metallic,
dress down
silver
day.
metallic sneakers.
They can't see that though.
But
They
this
can't
is my,
see it, but
this is
I'm
my
talking-
dress
Yeah,
We'll take a
down
picture
day.
and tweet it afterwards.
Just Asmah with a
Yeah.
shoe just right next to her head.
I have suddenly become very aware of what I'm wearing today in fashion.
No, but I think it's very
Don't look at my
subjective.
trainers.
No,
They're just
it is
black and
very,
boring.
it is very subjective. Someone said to me one time, "Oh my God, I love how you dress, and I want to dress like you." I said, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Because I dress myself based on my mindset, and everyone, because I think everyone. See, that's the part where fashion and style is very different. Everyone is fashionable, and I argue this a lot. Everyone is fashionable, but not everyone has a distinctive style. And distinctive style in the sense that not everyone can easily be picked out of the crowd. But everyone is fashionable because you pick up something you wear every day. You pair your top of your jeans with your shoes. That is fashion. That is you creating an outfit. But in terms of picking out a shirt that contrasts with your pants and contrasts with your shoes, that is style. So I think if we're arguing about shoes, everyone is fashionable. We're all fashionably dressed, but maybe not very
Thank you.
distinctively dressed.
I don't think so.
And you are
Well,
fashionable.
you are, because you've paired black and black. That's fashion. That's your style of fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've paired dark blue with light blue with grey.
And the colour is popping out.
Yeah.
I think everyone's
enough, yeah.
fashionable, but maybe not everyone has
This is like the typical outfit for a London creative. So I need the glasses. I'm gonna need the glasses as well. Like we went
You
to
look like a postman.
a fashionable
I'm
post.
joking.
A fashionable postman.
Uh,
We went to I remember in second year we went to an event in London, and it was like 6 of us coming from Bournemouth, and I stepped to the coach station. And Matty saw me and he goes, "You look dressed. You look like you're dressed for ad lad. You look like such an ad man." I was like, "Thanks, man. Yeah." Man,
yeah, I think that's really interesting. Everyone is fashionable, but not everyone has a distinctive style.
that's
That's
deep.
what I think.
That's something to dwell on.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
But we can't think of not now.
No.
No.
No, we're recording in issue.
Should we?
People are listening to what we're saying right now,
I know.
so
It's scary, isn't it?
it's weird.
I actually love this. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
Mm.
I hope we've done something. See, I told you, we're idiots. Like
Cute.
there was no like before we started this. I was really nervous, but there's no need to be. It's like an informal chat, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what this whole thing is about. It's about getting creative people and showing other people who are aspiring to be creative.
Wow.
Just a little-
inspiring. I'm
just a little-
inspiring.
Just a little, yeah, but like everyone is in a way. Everyone is aspiring to be creative and is creative at the same time.
That's true. I think part of creativity is always learning and always.
Yeah, it's always wanting to do better and getting
Yeah.
little hints and tips from
I
everywhere.
think I think that's probably a marker of my career is once I start thinking, oh, I know everything now. Once I start thinking,
That's when it ends.
yeah, that's when,
When you want to stop learning.
yeah, like when all the fire and passion to create and learn has stopped in me, that would be the time to be like, yep, see you later. I'm going to take my retirement pension and go live in the Maldives or somewhere.
Hopefully, you've got a lot of money by then.
Or if not, just buy a holiday home in like Brighton or something. Anyway, again, we're digressing and going off topic, but back to the big question now.
What's that?
The serious question.
Is that this one over here?
Ooh, I forgot about that one. I was going to go with these ones, but we can go with this
Oh,
one.
fair enough.
Should we ask another one?
Yeah, we could do it. I mean, go on.
Okay, so this is a new question for today's episode. Switching up, being different.
We should have like a little, you know how like on TV shows they have like graphics that come up. We should have like a little da new question. And then
Or we can have like a roulette wheel, which like selects like.
how are we gonna do that on the podcast?
We could do it physically and then have like the sound.
Buy a roulette wheel.
Make one.
Oh,
Creativity.
fair enough. Okay.
Anyway, we've got really off topic again. So, if you could cook for 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and what would you cook?
I can't cook.
Brilliant. If you could take photos of 3
No,
people.
reframe that. If you could order out with
You could order takeaway.
you could order takeaway for 3 people, who would you order takeaway for and what would you order?
Oh my god.
That's good though. I like that.
that.
I like the takeaway better than the cooking.
Okay,
I
so
think it's more interesting.
So this is absolutely anybody.
dead or alive, anyone in the world.
And we don't have to be in it if you don't
Of
want
course.
it. Ouch.
Or if you want to order a takeaway right now, it's cool.
Wow, this is never ever. See, the thing is, secretly, I'm not really a people's person. So if I were to order food,
It'd be for yourself.
Myself.
But let's
Yeah,
see.
fair enough.
No,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
see.
I don't know.
Let's see. No, because the thing is, I'm sure a lot of people have this. It's not really like a split personality, but I have people. So I have asthma in a lot of facets.
Right.
So it's just very easy for me to
Just
call
a-
up on
just a
three
whole
of
lot of
them.
aspects.
And
Who would you
no,
ask?
but I just sort of want to think, because I've never even
It's a weird
about
question.
it.
Yeah.
Weird
Never,
question.
ever thought about it. Just thinking about it, there's nobody that I love that much. Apart from family, apart from obvious
Yeah,
family and
yeah,
friends. So I'm just trying to think, apart from family and
Then
friends.
you can pick like famous people. And stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Why do
they
they
can probably
deserve
order
my
out for
food?
themselves.
Exactly.
Who
Why?
would you have?
I'd have. I kind of just want to get 3 people who can't handle spice and just give them really spicy Indian food and just video them and put it up on YouTube. But I don't know. It's weird because I think I can think of 3 people, but then it's about ordering food for them, and it's like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Such a hard question. Like,
It's
I want
a
to see
weird
someone
Or you
answer
could
this
cook-
question
what would you do?
spontaneously.
Oh no, my answer is gonna be really cliche.
Or was it like,
Like Muhammad Ali, Nelson Mandela, and like Ernest Hemingway, because I'm a writer and I'm like that. Ooh, and it would be really stupid. Paul
What
Scholes
would you
be one.
give?
Paul Scholes?
Paul Scholes would be great because he's
Oh,
one
John Terry.
Why matter?
No, but what would you give them though?
Oh.
What sort of food?
Pizza. He looks like a type of man who'd eat pizza.
Yeah, I'd probably go for something really simple.
Like Paul Scholes, if you gave him pizza, he'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been
it doesn't have to
watching-
be something
I've
fancy.
been watching a lot of MasterChef.
Mm.
So probably I'd get Gordon Ramsay, give him the nastiest food in the world.
Do you not like it?
I know I actually do like him, but
Yeah,
just to
Paul
see his
Hollywood.
reaction. It's tricky just to see his reaction.
Get Paul Hollywood and give him a really, really bad cake.
Really bad sponge.
Yeah.
Just on purpose.
Paul, if you're listening, we love Great British Bake Off. And if you want to be I can't do that. Excuse me, sorry.
Should we go into our bankers now?
Let's do it. So we have 2 banker questions, which we ask every single guest. One of them is to sum up their career in 3 words.
There'll be some of
So
your
sort of my
student life.
creative process. Or student life.
Or sum up,
okay.
sum up your creative life, if that makes
That
sense.
sounds better.
the growing
That sounds much better.
creative, yeah.
in 3 words or 3 short phrases.
Maybe we should do that from now on for everyone.
Yeah, creative life sounds better than
Ooh.
career.
I think genial, so very mild, very calm. What's the word?
Oh no.
Inconsistent.
Okay.
No, not inconsistent. Sort of going up and down, not inconsistent. Irregular.
Irregular, yeah. I mean,
We get what you're saying.
yeah, we know what you're saying.
Up and up. If those words
Just
up and down. Up and down. Up and down.
And
Word number 3.
personal.
Personal.
So personal, up and down, and what was the third one?
Genial.
Genial. And banker number 2 for £50 is in 10 seconds. Can you give us your elevator pitch? Don't look so terrified. Like that look on her face when I just said it. She was like,
I'll give you some advice before.
"Oh, here we go."
One piece of advice is don't waste 7 seconds out of your 10 thinking about something or just not saying anything because you will not finish.
We can say in 10 seconds. So selling myself
As whatever you are, as a creative.
We'll
Sell yourself as a
We'll
creative.
count you in.
Yeah, we'll go 3, 2, 1, and you'll have 10 seconds, and then he'll tell you when it's up. And it doesn't matter whether you finish it or not. It's just we like to see what our guests can come up with
10 seconds.
in 10 seconds.
You ready?
I think so.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Yeah, they're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
So if you're looking for someone that can create things based on passion and not based on popularity, I'm probably your best bet. And that means that there's a lot of sustainability in my work and
Time.
Hey, you did
You did
it!
it! Yeah!
But that's basically what it is, really.
10 seconds.
It's hard.
I never
It's hard.
do that ever
It's
in
hard.
real life.
And that's what we've been learning for the past 3
Should we
years.
do one today?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You should go.
No, I asked
You
you last
should
week.
go.
No, I think we're going to save it for the last one.
I asked you like 2 weeks. I asked him 2 weeks ago if he wanted to do an elevator pitch, and he goes, "No."
I'm like, no, we don't.
No,
We don't.
no
do
hesitation,
that. That's
just-
not how this works.
Just straight shut me down. No.
No, we'll do one. We'll do one on the last episode of the podcast.
Ooh.
Is there going to be a lot?
Don't tell him about that yet.
Sorry.
I know, but you just kind of sold yourself
Spoiler
out.
alert.
On the latest episode before
Christmas.
the next season.
Yeah. Good save. Good save. I don't think they noticed.
Sick.
Amazing.
That was good.
Sick.
That was actually
Sick,
really
man.
good.
I'm sorry, I'm
Epic.
still at uni. Selector.
Yeah. Let's. Thank you so much. I've got 5 minutes till my next seminar, so let's. Yeah. Thank you so
Wrap it
much. All that's left is thank you for coming on. Again,
Yeah,
really.
we've loved having you on.
Yeah,
Great
really
chat.
enjoyed chatting.
My pleasure. It's an honour. This is my first podcast ever, so
Oh my God,
it's gonna go down in history.
Yes.
When I do my subsequent ones, I wish I always remember. I always mention that I was on that show in uni, Life's a Peach, and you should listen to them.
Before we go, I think it's only fair to let you say this. So if you'd like to give your Instagram a plug, the airwaves.
Or anything else a plug.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, so my Instagram is the dot black pepper to
That's
spice up
TNG.
your life.
Yeah.
The black
So-
pepper.
Just in case you missed that, it is the dot black pepper
Yeah.
on Instagram. Is that your digital signature everywhere? Or?
No, I was using that everywhere, but then someone said to sort of gain maturity in the industry, you should start using your real name, because after a while, all this like aliases and names, you kind of get tired of them. And once people have known you as a certain name for a while, you start changing names every other year or something. Then where's the consistency? So I use Asmah Williams in all of that, like on my website and Twitter and everything else. But Instagram is kind of like my main hub. Yes, I have a website.
You have a website?
Yes, I was.
Trying to
So
plug your
that's
website.
asmahwilliams.com.
Okay, fair enough. What's on your website?
So it's style photography, fashion, and my musings. The kind of things that I get inspirations from. So I put them in one place
Okay.
and
That's quite cool.
show them.
We should do that.
Like an archive.
Because I wanted my Instagram to be strictly my work, so I don't put anything of that
Yeah.
me on there. So I think my website is a good place to kind of show off, place I get inspirations from and things like that. Wow.
Cool.
Anything you want to plug?
No, it's too far away, man.
Do you guys have a social media for
Don't have
Life's
my
a
charger
Peach?
with me.
Do you have a social media for Life's a Peach?
Yes,
Sorry?
we do. We are. We're on Insta. We are on.
We're not
Twitter
on
and Facebook.
We're on Twitter,
Oh, yeah, so
Facebook,
I
and
guess
SoundCloud.
I'm on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at Nabil13Arif.
And I'm at Viraj Vaz, if you want to follow me too.
If you want to. I'm not saying that you should.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Definitely want to follow us.
And just to sell them out, if they ever tell you to come on this, come on this.
Great.
It's great.
Sweet. Yeah.
Trust me.
Amazing.
It's good.
2 minutes now to my next seminar. So see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Jingle!
Here comes that epic royalty-free jingle. Boom.
Bye.
Over and out. Oosh.